ToRaH Garden, speaking the absolute truth. ToRaH Nation. Shalom, 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 Yashar, Yahudah. Grafted and Gentiles to the mighty Mashiach. Listen. Tribulation, persecution, distress, famine, peril, nakedness, sword. You may at any time in this witness find yourself in said situation. But in your emunah, in your discipline, in your witness, your walk, right? In seeking the Most High, and prayer, and fasting. When confronted with these situations, right? The idea for us is, in this witness, to count it all joy. Right? When we find ourselves in tribulation, distress, famine, peril, nakedness, sword, right? We rejoice. Now that goes against the grain of the flesh. Right? That goes directly against the grain of the flesh. It is a direct contradiction to my emotions. Right? To find myself in a position to rejoice when I'm going through tribulation. Right? It goes against the naturalness of my sinful carnal nature. Right? In this witness, though, we understand that, or we should be learning that, these things are sent by design. Right? These are things that Yahusha had to endure, so we will have to as well. Right? We who are born again of the water and of the RUACH HaKodesh, who have the witness of Yahushua HaMashiach, we need to count this all joy. Now listen, if you ain't born again of the water and of the RUACH HaKodesh, if you haven't come by the way of the water, the blood, and the RUACH HaKodesh, listen, this ain't for you. Right? Right? This ain't for you. Right? Because everything you're going to suffer is going to be a result of that which you have received as a result of being in disobedience because of the sins of your forefathers. See, the only people that are really suffering for righteousness' sake are those who have been born again of the water and of the RUACH HaKodesh, because they are right. They've been made righteous. And because of their amunah in this witness, Yahuwah has given them a clean heart. They have been born again. He has given them actually a new heart. He replaced the stony heart that they had with a new heart, hence being born again, right? A new heart is new life. New life is being born again. And if you haven't received this life, right, because this life comes as a result of you partaking in the atonement of Yahushua HaMashiach that you have to go through in order to even begin to be a part of, or in order for for you to even be able to be seen, heard, or recognized by the Most High. You have to come by way of atonement. Listen, it don't matter, brew, that you woke up. It don't matter that you woke. It matters that you're quickened. That you have received this atonement that is in HaMashiach, that leads to a new heart being born again, that leads to you having Yahuah's RUACH HaKodesh, his spirit that he puts in you, that new birth seed, that new life, you become now his. You know, I rejoiced when I found out that, you know, I did my DNA, and my DNA came back A1, E1, B1A. Right? My ancestral lineage points to me being Hebrew. Overwhelmingly. Overwhelmingly, right? But that alone is not going to cause me to enter into the kingdom. That alone is not going to give me access into the kingdom. I'm just like my fathers without an atonement. I'm just like those Hebrews that existed during the time of Mashiach that felt that they were established in ToRaH, right? But they weren't even in a position to offer up sacrifices. Yahudah took it away from them. So hence, just because you're awakened, just because you know because of your research that you are E1B1A, or that you line up with the people that are in the book, don't guarantee you access into the kingdom. Listen, it don't even make you a part of the royal nation. The royal nation. You got to be a part of this atoning blood of Yahushua HaMashiach, established in this witness in order to see the kingdom, in order to be given entrance into the kingdom. So tribulation or test or whatever comes to you comes as a result of you still being in disobedience. You know, I mean, when we look at our people as a nation and as a people, you know, we see that our people get shot in the streets, killed. That's a result of the curse. That's because they're not his people. They're still not his people. They're still under a judgment. They are under a judgment. When you surrender to Yahuah's kingdom, then you're free from the curse. HaMashiach has made us free from the curse that came as a result of our sin consciousness, our act of inheriting this wicked, diabolical sin nature. And see, if you are Hebrew and you know that you're the people, and until you come under the quickening, that Yahudah changes things for you, because now your dominion's changed. Now,
pick up at 5224 Proctor Road.
You're under a totally different dominion. You serving a new king in a different kingdom.
Turn right on Proctor Road.
A different rulership. Seeing under the king's rulership, you're going to suffer tribulation. Not tribulation that comes as a result of a disobedience to ToRaH, but a tribulation that comes because of righteousness through faith in HaMashiach's witness. that which is necessary to come in order to develop you. Who is trying to develop you?
Turn left, then pick up Esther on the right.
He's trying to develop you. Who is trying to develop you in your Amunah? He already knows what it's going to take for you to endure to the end.
Turn left to stay on Sarasota Golf Club Boulevard.
And by virtue of the fact that he has allowed you to be born again and be a part of his kingdom, and then in order to endure, in order to be
roundabout and take the third exit onto Bee Ridge Road.
That which the Most High needs you to be in the kingdom, you got to endure. We fight against tribulation in our flesh.
In a quarter mile, enter the roundabout, then take the third exit.
We fight against distress in our flesh. We want it taken away, like right away. This has got to change. When Yahuwah is really developing you, he's solidifying you.
Take the third exit onto Bee Ridge Road.
He's building your spiritual character. He's developing you in Amunah. This is what we have to understand. So tribulation, distress, all of these things, there's none of them that can separate you from Yahuwah. None of them can separate you from Yahuwah. Because you're already in the kingdom. They can't separate you. But you got to understand that in the midst of all of these, right? Even nakedness, peril, sword.
Message from Hannah. Tell the guy at the gate you're picking up Hannah.
It doesn't matter.
New message from Hannah.
Yahuwah has you. Yahuwah has you. He's developing you. He's making you.
In a half mile, continue straight through the roundabout onto Bee Ridge Road.
There's nothing that can separate you from the love of Yahuwah. There is nothing that can separate you from Yahuwah's sovereignty. In the midst of every situation, every tribulation, every presentation that brings distress, right? Yahuwah has you. He's developing you. You know, the scripture says that HaMashiach, Yahusha, learned obedience to the things that he suffered. The suffering was in his flesh. He got to a place where Yahuwah gave him what he needed in order to endure tribulation. And he was willing to obey. He's willing to do what Yahuwah had given him to do. Yahusha never once disobeyed Yahuwah. Never once disobeyed Yahuwah. But in the heat of what he knew and anticipated that was coming, that was a direct assault on his flesh, he wanted out.
In a quarter mile, enter the roundabout, then take the first exit onto Bee Ridge Road Extension.
He said, Father, if it be thy will, let this cup pass from me. 3 times. Those praise. But nevertheless, not my will, but thy will.
Enter the roundabout, then take the first exit onto Bee Ridge Road Extension.
Tribulation, distress, persecution. Some of y'all being persecuted right now. What Yahuwah is trying to get you to endure? What are you trying to get you to gain from it? How is he using this situation to strengthen you? Right? How is he using this situation to develop you? How is he using this situation to bring you out? Because, all of this has everything to do with the end game. It's not just me focused on the here and now. The uncomfortableness of a situation. The uncomfortableness of a set of circumstances. It's bigger than that. It's what's coming that we're prepared for to make it to the end. It's about the end game. So tribulation is about the end game, making an ally. Distress is about the end game, making an ally. Persecution is about the end game, making an ally. Famine, naked, peril, sword. It's about the end game.
In 1 mile, turn left on Misty Pine Parkway.
Make it work for you. And nothing ever feels good when it's just tribulation. Listen. Last thing, consider Io. He lost everything he had. The richest man in the East. He was a king. King of the East. But he lost it all. He said, naked came into my mother's womb, and naked shall I return. Yahuwah gave, and Yahuwah takes away. Blessed be the name of Yahuwah. That's the time to attack his body. Yahuwah attacked his body. Now, that's the time to bring sickness.
In a quarter mile, turn left on Misty Pine Parkway.
His wife told him, look, Io, just go ahead and curse. Just go ahead and curse you and die. Sorry, foolish woman.
Turn left on Misty Pine Parkway.
Yahuwah can send good and evil. It's in his power to do so. Oh, man. Hannah. Hannah. Hana. She said, tell the guy at the gate that you're here to pick up Hannah.
Hannah or Hannah's? What's the street number?
I'm going to 8509 Eagle Preserve Way.
What's your name?
My name is
Or what are you?
Weldon. I'm Uber.
You're cool. Well, nobody notified me, so I'm just calling you.
It's okay. The job. Persecution. Not this job. The idea is persecution. There's nothing that comes to you by mistake. There's nothing that happens to you by chance. There's nothing that comes as a result of happenstance. Yahuwah already knows. He's declared the end from the beginning, just like he knew with Iob. He knew. Hasatan didn't know. Hasatan didn't know what the results of this was going to be. He was just trying to pull you back into the kingdom of darkness. He's trying to pull you back to the kingdom of darkness. He's trying to take these situations and make you take your faith, your eyes of your heart and your faith off of Yahuwah through Yahushua Mashiach's witness, and pull you back into what is natural, physical. But see, you supernatural now. You can endure this.
Mover here for you? No mover? Okay. All right. Thank you. You know, it's not hard. Not hard to put your name on the list.
I know.
Thank you.
All right, you too. So, you know, it's, what's this? This is what we have to understand as the people of Yahuwah. Things are going to
Turn right
come.
on Misty Creek Drive.
You already know. He's trying to develop you. Right? He's trying to strengthen you. Right? He's trying to elevate your amunah so that you can do great things for the kingdom. He's trying to elevate your amunah, having overcome trials, tribulation, distress, famine, persecution, nakedness, to reinforce you
Quarter mile, keep left onto Eagle
and reinforce
Preserve Way.
in you this power that he has put in you, so that you can assault Hasatan's kingdom by taking those who Yahuwah has chosen out of the kingdom of darkness by your testimony, by your word, by your power. Because the end game is souls. The end game is souls. Present suffering
Left
says.
onto Eagle Preserve Way.
The end game is souls. All of this end game is souls.
In a quarter mile, pick up Hannah on the right.
That's the souls. Man of Yah, woman of Yah, called to greatness, woman of you, beautifully and wonderfully made. Tribulations, distress, persecution, famine, nakedness, peril, the sword, none of it will separate us from the love of Yahuwah. And at the end of the day, it's all about the end game. Yahuwah is trying to strengthen you, fortify you, empower you, so you can make an assault on the kingdom of Hasatan. But on the other hand, Hasatan is trying to stop you, prevent you, hinder you from getting that accomplished.
Pick up Hannah
So,
on the right.
with that I say, man of Yah, woman of Yah, called to greatness, woman of Yahuwah, beautifully and wonderfully made. Today, Yahuwah has favored you. Walk in the blessings and be favored. ToRaH Garden, speaking the absolute truth. ToRaH Nation.